Hey guys, it's your boy Frank the Myers back again with another video for you guys today. And today is going to be my top 10 favorite wrestlers I've ever met. I made this video a few years ago, I'd have to say. And when I made this video, I included all wrestlers. And it wasn't fair because a lot of the WrestlePro guys I kind of favored, I guess. So this time, no WrestlePro talent. There's one that's kind of, but he's not really. If I took it away, I went away from there, because if I included them, this would have been all WrestlePro guys. So this is just all other wrestling, I guess. But with the title, so I'm the top 10 wrestlers I've ever met. This list, it's weird, because a lot of people might have mixed reviews about a lot of these guys, but for me, nothing but great experiences with all these guys. Some of them I've met. Most of these guys I've met multiple times. Let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4. I met 6 of these guys multiple times, so that really helped their rating. But let's get started. At number 10, we have the Monday Night Messiah, Seth freaking Rollins. I met Rollins back in 2018, October 2018. He was Intercontinental Champion. And this was in Delaware, I believe. Yes, it was a mall in Delaware for this Xfinity store. From what I remember, Rollins was doing a tour of signings at all these Xfinity stores on the East Coast. And about 2 days before I saw it, I'm like, maybe. But then because I was just Delaware's kind of far, and it's not far. It's just out of the way. And so my parents told me, hey, we could probably do it. I'm like, let's just do it. He's one of my favorites. Let's just go. So we go, and it was a bit of a wait just because, it's Seth Rollins, and it's a free signing. But we got in the line. I was talking to him about, the Shield and how, I pretty much grew up with this guy. And it was just really nice because, I've heard a lot of weird things, Seth Rollins, to meet. But to me, he was beyond nice and, was very, what was the word? Accommodating, because I had him sign multiple things, which I liked a lot. And it was just nice because, a lot of times at these free signings, it's very quick. You get, 10 seconds. Hey, how are you? Good. How are you? Sign your thing. Picture. Leave. But I was there for a good 2-3 minutes talking to Seth. And it was nice. He was nice. And it was cool because, I left because, it was in a mall. So we, ate and, looked around a little bit. And so after the signing, after we were done, we were leaving after doing everything else. I saw we were leaving, so I'm I almost started burn it down chant. I started chanting burn it down, and everyone outside was doing it. He didn't notice. Well, he noticed, but he just didn't care, but pretty funny. At number 9, we have Corey Graves, a black horse of the list. So I met Corey Graves during WrestleMania weekend at WrestleCon 2019. It was him, Sammy, and one other person. Maybe Chase Owens. No, because Chase Owens I didn't know was going to be there. I forget. I was going to try to meet Shawn Michaels. That's what it was. And I couldn't figure out if he was going to be there or not. But Corey Graves, I went up to his table. And for some reason, that whole weekend, I wasn't nervous meeting anyone besides Sammy Gilvara. But for Corey Graves, I was nervous for some reason. This is weird. Because I don't really get nervous meeting wrestlers anymore. And so I went up to him. We talked. And it was weird because he was in a non-WWE setting, so he could kind of just do whatever. And I was talking about him trashing Byron all the time. He had a good laugh out of it. It was just a nice experience. It's hard to put into words some of these experiences just because they were so cool. Corey just laughing along, having a lot of fun with it compared to other stories, which is so weird because a lot of these guys have mixed reviews, but for me it's been nice, nothing but nice. But yeah, Corey Graves, definitely one of the best to meet in my opinion. Definitely go out of your way if you can meet him. So yeah, number 9, Corey Graves. Number 8, an unpopular opinion yet again. This is Enzo. I met Enzo in 2019 at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. On that show, John Moxley was there, Big Cass, Enzo obviously, Mick Foley, the Boogeyman, Renee Young, Darby Allin. It was a really stacked show. Obviously, Moxley did not make the list in any means. If you want to hear that story, hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. John Moxley's not the way. But Enzo, as soon as I walked up, he asked my name, and he had a whole conversation and talk about how on his arm he had a tattoo of Frank Sinatra. And from what I know in the past, he remembers faces, and he's like, I'll make sure to remember you because of this tattoo. And I thought that's really cool, considering, like, knowing from the past, he does do that. He tries to remember all fans that meet him. And overall, he was just really talkative, and I was talking to him about a shoot interview he did with our video, and I thought that was hilarious. And he was just an incredible guy. Lots of people, sure, he's a shit stirrer, but with me at least, he was nothing but incredibly nice. Just top tier. If you don't like Enzo, obviously don't go out of your way to meet him, because then, like, you'll probably give him the wrong vibes. But if you're a fan of Enzo and you have the opportunity, go do it. At number 7, this is the one exception on the list where I said I wouldn't mention Wrestle Pro guys, because he technically isn't a Wrestle Pro guy, he's technically a Creative Pro guy, but he is on AEW, and this is Platinum Max Casper, one half of the Acclaimed. Now, I could have put Anthony Bones on this list just because he's in AEW, but he's a Wrestle Pro guy, so I'm like, you know what, we're not going to do that. Max Casper, I met him twice. The first time, WrestleMania weekend at a Wrestle Pro show. At the very end of the night, I'm like, quick picture, bang, and I left. Didn't think about it ever again. And then this past year, 2020, at Dream 16 Tournament Night 1 for Wrestle Pro, he was there. And for like 15 minutes, me and him were just talking about the business, like his career. And he didn't have to do that. Like, most wrestlers don't have to, they don't have to give us anything. Like, they can just be like, yeah, whatever, see you later. But, because I had my AEW ring, which I'm going to probably make a video about that soon. Just like a story time. But, signed my ring, and then we were just talking about everything with him. AEW, Independence, WWE. No, he didn't do Impact stuff, but we were just talking about everything he's done with WWE, AEW, all, like, independent work with Beyond, CZW, Wrestle Pro, Creative Pro, all that stuff. And it was pretty cool, considering he doesn't have to do that, but he was just spent the time talking to me, and, like, he seemed like he was having a great conversation. And it was awesome, because he's one of my favorites, at least. Like, not a lot of people like him because he's a knockoff John Cena. But there are similarities, but they're two different things, in my opinion, two different things. At least Max creates his own beats and raps to them, but that's besides the point. But yeah, Max Casper, definitely. I'm hoping to meet him again soon when COVID lightens up, or at least when Wrestle Pro starts running shows in the spring. Because he's not going to be in Alaska, and I'm not going to the Alaska tours yet. Eventually, I'm going to get the money to go to Alaska for the Wrestle Pro tours, which is not yet. So yeah, number 7, Max Casper. Number 6, this is a little bit of an exception, but not really whatsoever. We have Brian Myers, a.k.a. Kurt Hawkins. If I'm not mistaken, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I met Brian 8 times in the last 6 years. It's technically 5.5, but it doesn't matter. I met Brian 8 times. He's the most I met out of anyone on this list. He's always just been a really genuine dude to me, at least. Always having a great conversation. Always just, like, really excited to talk. Excuse me. And, like, every time we've had a different conversation. And what really, like, sets him apart from a lot of people on this list is when I went to it was my second ever independent show with my first Pat Buck show. And I saw Brian, and I was, like, starstruck. I'm like, he's from WWE, like, and, like, me and him share the same last name. And I'm like, I'm too nervous to meet him. And, like, he noticed I was really nervous. He's like, hey, come here. And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And it was, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to notice. I was all like, and he still was like, come on, like, let's talk, whatever. I got like, a tank top or whatever. And he signed it, too. No, he signed it later on. But, it was just really, he definitely, like, number 1, like, independent, I guess. Like, it's just, like, he's number 1 in different aspects, but not the entire list. But yeah, like, I guess first time meeting, he's number 1. And, yeah, he's just, every time we've had a different conversation, and he's always seemed interested every single time. And I am more than appreciative for everything he's done for me, at least, because he's done a lot for me. And yeah, number 6, Brian Myers. Moving into the top 5. Number 5, we have JT Dunn. Now, I've been a fan of JT Dunn for the longest time. And when I went to the same show that Jon Moxley, Enzo, and all them were at, JT Dunn was defending his NEW World title against the winner of a Battle Royal. Winner the Battle Royal was Darby Allin. Darby Allin beat JT Dunn for the title. So, I remember I kept tweeting him the week before. I tweeted him a couple times. I can't wait to see you. Hope to meet you. Blah, 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 blah. But, and like, I messaged him, like, hey, do you know if you guys are going to have, like, tables outside? He's like, I don't know yet. I'll make sure to message you when I know. But obviously, independent wrestling show is pretty crazy. And, so, show ends. I don't see him. Me, private party, though. That's really cool. And I see, like, an NEW sex. He had, like, an NEW polo on. I'm like, hey, like, do you know if JT Dunn is in the back? And, like, is there, like, talking? He's like, yeah, I'll check. About 5 minutes go by, I'm like, oh, whatever. Then, like, as soon as I say that, here comes JT Dunn coming through the curtain. And me and him just start talking and shooting for, like, 10 minutes. He went out of his way to do that. Because, like, obviously, he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't owe us anything, if you think about it. Like, wrestlers don't owe us anything. We're just there. I'm not going to go into that. That's just going to cause riots. But, me and him were just talking for a really long time. Really awesome. Took a picture. I left. And then a few months later in November, it was WrestlePro, Going Out with a Bang, I believe. It was a Rawway show. Big Rawway show. I had a lot of people that was surprised on that show. Excuse me. But, I go meet him. He remembered me, actually. And we're just talking about him, Moxley, Darby, and just, like, all, like, the shenanigans going on that. Because that summer, him, Moxley, and Darby were in a lot of matches. And, it was just nice seeing him again. And he was more than talkative as always. He didn't have shirts, but I bought, like, 3 8x10s. Then there's a box over there. I'm not going to get them. I can show you what the box is. The box is right there. We put everything in a fan box because we didn't know what else to put it in. But, yeah. Not John Moxley. God, no, never. No. JT Dunn at number 5. At number 4, this superstar, Paris knows who I'm talking about, and maybe a few other if you're following my Instagram. She is the most recent person I've met, and actually, her stuff's out, and I might as well show it too. Hold on a second, guys. We have 2 things, actually. The woman, there's the ring. I'll put that over here on the ground for now. But the latest person I met, Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb, incredible. That's the 8x10 she signed for me. And then to go along with the ring, she signed right here. This ring is really filled. I maybe have to, like, room for, like, a signature here, signature there, signature there. Like, there's definitely spots, but it's just getting smaller just because of how many people have had signed this darn thing. But, I met Serena Deeb this past Saturday in Queens, New York, at Wrestling Universe, which is, it was technically at Card Universe, but it was Wrestling Universe affiliate signing. Anywho, so, the entire time I'm there, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna ask her, like, who she wants to face. Cause, like, she hasn't wrestled in a while, so I'm like, let's just bring it off with that. I go up, ask her, and then we just had a full-blown... Well, first she asked my name, like, before I even said anything. And I'm like... I could already tell this signing was going to go amazing. She asked me my name, Frank, obviously. We're talking. So I asked her, like, hey, like, who's, like, someone you really want to face, like, since you're back, like, AEW, Impact, and WWE on the Indies. She's like, oh, yeah, like, Miko Satomura. And then, like, she brought up Riho, Chris Statlander. I brought up Yuka. Her eyes lit up when I said Yuka. And... it was just, she just, amazing. I don't meet a lot of women's wrestlers, not because I don't want to meet them. It's just because a lot of women's wrestlers, at least, that wrestle are in WWE, AEW, Impact, NWA. Obviously, a lot of them aren't doing signings right now because of COVID. And in the past, anytime there's been a women's signing, I've been busy. Or at an independent show, it's always people like Sunny, or like, someone who I don't want to meet. But Serena, I saw a signing, I instantly was like, I gotta buy the ticket. Bought the ticket, obviously. And, yeah, Serena Deeb already, like, the fact that she made the top 10, like, that, just proves how incredible of a person she is at the autograph table. Now we're in the top 3. If you guys know me, this top 3, you'll probably be able to guess. Not in the exact order, possibly, but the top 3 definitely I've talked about a lot. Number 3, we have the Spanish God, Sammy Gilvara. Now, I've met him twice. I met him at WrestleCon, and I met him at AEW Dynamite. I'll talk about WrestleCon first. It was WrestleCon weekend at WrestleMania weekend at WrestleCon. And he was the one guy I was really looking forward to meet. Besides Corey Graves, but Sammy, number one. And so, I'm like walking around, I'm like, where do I go? And then I figure out, oh, he's at the Pancake Smile Driver show. I'll just wait until that starts. And luckily, because I had a WrestleCon ticket, I got in the show for free. So I was like, okay, cool. Excuse me. So I go, meet Sammy, and he just, I don't, like, he has, like, an aura about him, like, not to be one of the, not Spanish God, but, like, he knows he's someone, and, like, he doesn't use it for his advantage. He's like, yeah, cool. I'm like, people like me. And, we just talked. I'm not gonna get into the details of that conversation because that's between me and him, the stuff with me. And he was just really, really awesome. Incredible human being all around. And then I met him after AEW Dynamite debut on October 2nd in Washington, D.C. I brought a Sammy Gilvara sign. And after the show, I was outside. I was getting everyone to sign it. Is it here? No, it's at my mom's. But met Sammy, and he's like, oh, look at the sign. He was really excited about the sign. And, yeah, it had to be quick, though, because he had to get an Uber with Aubrey Edwards. But he was really so cool. Then I mentioned WrestleCon. He actually remembered me, too, which is really awesome. But, yeah, Sammy Gilvara, number 3. Number 2. This is going to surprise some people, just because he's not number 1. Number 2 is Johnny Gargano. Some people who know me, that's going to be surprised. But number 1, there's a reason number 1 is number 1. Number 2, though, Johnny Gargano. I met him, the first time I met him was in February of 2019, after an NXT Live event. He had to quickly go by, so I got a picture of Johnny, and, like, when that happened, I'm like, I'm never going to meet him again, but I'm like, this is incredible. Allergies. But, a few months later, after WrestleMania, May, I see this post, because, like, there's this store that does signings in Jersey, and for WWE, and, they sometimes have some cool guys, sometimes I'm like, whatever, and then I saw, coming next week, Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. I'm like, what? So, we bought the ticket, and the anxiety, because when I met Johnny before, after NXT, I didn't know he was going to be doing that, so, like, I didn't really have time to prep myself. But when I met Johnny at Adventureland, anxiety was through the roof. I didn't really talk to Candice that much, but Candice definitely top 20. But, yeah, Johnny, he's, actually, I have the thing right here. I might as well show it. He signed it there. I don't want to, like, take it apart, but it's there. You can see it. But, yeah, he was just awesome. I talked about everything with his career and how, like, I was there for NXT TakeOver New York when he won the title. Just everything about Gargano. Top class, top tier guy. And number 1. I haven't talked about this guy on the channel in a while. Not because I wanted to listen. It just, he hasn't come up. But number 1. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. I talk about it so much, but there's probably new people who haven't seen anything with me and Cody, so I'll go through the story. First time I met him, September 2016. I technically first met him at a podcast, like, during the same day I met him, like, at the table. But he came over, shook everyone's hands. He was really cool then, listening to the podcast with him, Sam Roberts. Then I went out, then went to his table, and was talking to him about, like, how underutilized he was. And, like, he, like, lit up. He's like, whoa, thank you. Like, I appreciate that a lot. Because it was, like, him, Tyson Kidd, I was talking about. And then, didn't see him for a little bit. Not a little bit. It was only a few months. But then February 2017, he was at a Starling show with Wrestle Pro. And at that point, he was in Bullet Club. So he was on fire. He was also the What Culture Pro Wrestling Internet Champion, the Global Force Next Gen Champion still. And I brought him, like, this little Dusty figurine. And I gave it to him. He was ecstatic about it. He was just like, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And then we just, like, were talking. And then he posted it on Twitter, which is really cool. I like that a lot. With his Ring of Honor title and all that. And then the last time I met him, which was the last time he had a Wrestle Pro show, was July 14th? Maybe the 14th, or maybe, like, the 17th. I'm not 100% sure. But it was at a Wrestle Pro show in a horse barn, which that... If you guys want to hear a story, like a story time about that whole day, please put in the comment section down below, because that day was It was insane. But, so Horse Barn, and I helped set up the ring and all that, and, like, I helped set up for the show. And Cody was there. And, I gave him a Red Bull when he got there, and I was talking to him about, like, a battle royal that was happening later on. So, I talked to him, whatever. I go find my seat, because, like, doors are going to be opening soon, because I'm honestly there for everyone else. And then, like, all I hear out of, like, the curtain is Franklin, and I look around, and Cody's just, like, looking at me. I'm like, what the, like, what's going on? He's like, come back. I'm like, okay. So I come backstage, I open the curtain, and he's like, so, last weekend I had a match with Jimmy Havoc that had thumbtacks, and the thumbtacks are still on my boots, and there's no way I can do it. Take the thumbtacks out, and then do the meet and greet. Is there any way you can take the thumbtacks out of my boots? I'm like, you do not have to ask me twice. So I'm sitting there taking the thumbtacks out of his boots. I'm literally sitting there like a giddy little schoolgirl, like freaking out. Like, this is Cody's boots. Like, this is insane. But I do that. I finish, and I'm like, well, I still have to meet Cody, like, because I had stuff for him to sign. I had programs actually right here. Where'd it go? Programs up there, but I'm not gonna write about it. But this video is long. I'm sorry. But I went up and met Cody, and I gave the one guy the money or whatever. He's like, no. Give him his refund back. He does not need to pay. He signed my program and all that. We took the picture, whatever. I held the Ring of Honor World title. And that day was insane. Like, Cody is number one. Like, there's no doubt about it after thinking about it. Because Johnny was always default number one. But Cody, after all the times I met him, definitely number one. I'm sure in a few years after, like, I'll probably make this video again in a few years. But, definitely, like, Cody's gonna forever be my number one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this long video. I didn't anticipate for it to be this long, but here we are at 22 minutes. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please hit that like button. Put suggestions in the comment section down below. Tell me who your favorite wrestler is, or least favorite wrestler. I'll get on to the least favorite wrestler video, probably in the next week or two. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that video, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.